Okay, let's get back to this. I was talking about Wario. I had to go check to see who entered. Matchup, I believe, is a 50-50. Wario's stats are ridiculous. His attributes, his mobility, his air mobility, and his air acceleration is just ridiculous. This character can kind of just wait for Waft to become active. He can play really evasive to get it. It's got great frame data. Up tilt's kind of stupid, even though it got nerfed. It's got great damage. Got good normals. He can just consume PK5 with Chomp. Chomp's a great command grab. Bike is very good for recovering, even though he can't use it as much as he could in previous installments of the games. This character touches you with like a falling nair, or like he gets an up throw and like up aerial. You can take a lot of damage trying to land, because this character will always be able to put himself in a position where he can burst you down. If Wario has Bike, actually abusing the recovery with him, or his recovery, is hard. Because Bike acts as a horizontal travel option, an additional horizontal travel option, and it gives him another jump. If he manages to get Waft, he can fish for all of his starters that lead into it, like up tilt, falling nair, 2, up aerial, and he can become really dangerous really quickly because he can basically make it a 2-stock game instead of a 3-stock game. On the flip side, we can kind of play a little bit. What's what I'm looking for? We can definitely play more evasive and retreating fair all the time. Can't really do much about it despite his out of shield option being okay. He is heavy, so he does get comboed if we manage to hit him. It's definitely a matchup where you want to focus more on ledge trapping and then keeping him cornered. Other than that, though, you gotta place your hitboxes very well. Don't constantly lean into him all the time. Sometimes you just want to just walk, F tilt, jump forward, and then just stop moving forward. You definitely want to bait him, because one of those matchups where it's definitely going to go to more beat. It's going to be more of a long match, because he's going to be waiting to get waft. So I don't really know too much about the matchup, so that's why it's as vague as it is. But I believe it's 50-50. Okay, Kazuya. Oh man, this matchup is a 50-50. So without Electric Wind Godfist, this character can just fish for trades. Jab 1, 2, 3. Or the jab into the gentleman does like 18%. Backwards A does like 20, the roundhouse. Dash attack does like 20. This character does so much damage, raw damage from his hits, and he has more range than he actually lets on because all of his limbs become intangible. He gets limb intangibility on so many of his moves, and so many of his moves have giant circles for hitboxes. So this character is actually a real disjointed character. With wave dashing, with the Mishima wave dash, half of his body becomes intangible, so he gets a movement option that can basically have his hitbox size, and he can use Electric Wind Godfist from that. This character does so much damage if he touches you at any time where he could possibly zero death you. It's definitely a scary thing, but we can make him work for it because, again, our frame data is really good. While he does have really good frame data moves, or the slower moves that are really strong, we definitely basically can aerial weave around him when he's on the ground. He has issues getting past Zair, F tilt, forward aerial, and Nair, because his out of shield is slow. But it is strong. His up out of shield is strong. Up smash out of shield is strong. And this character, dealing with this character as neutral is a pain. Because if you try to peek at fire, you can react with forward A and reflect it, and peek at fire will kill Lucas if he's at a high enough percent. He can't really do that to PK freeze too much though, because we can always just release it late. But his reflector is one of the best in the game. because the multiplier on it's ridiculous and it doesn't have much end lag. And the reflection starts up really early. This character also has a lot of freaking shield damage multipliers on a lot of his moves, so he will shield poke Lucas easily. His aerials do good damage too. Electrical and Godfist combos are annoying. Sometimes you just gotta hold away, or like hold in, hope for the best. If we manage to get this character in disadvantage, like if we manage to get this character in the air or on the ledge or off stage, we can have our way with him. This character doesn't have a good landing options against Lucas. Getting off ledge as Kazuya can be difficult, and then this character's aerial drift is so slow. We can kind of force him to use his jump early to attempt to recover high, or we force him to go really low. And he's a fast faller too, so he gets double jump cancels air string and double jump cancels air combos work really well on him. It's just that it's one of those matchups where we have to play really patiently and we have to play intelligently. Because he can punish us just so hard. And if he manages to get a lead and we have to aggress into him, it's really scary and it can get really messy really quickly. But if he has to aggress into us, it can get messy for him too. So it's definitely a 50-50 in my opinion. Okay, let's go Sephiroth. This one's a -1. This one's a -1. Getting in on Sephiroth is painful. It is very painful. Between F tilt just being completely safe against us, down tilt crossing us up if we get too close to him, his fast fall, his short hop fast fall is broken. Between forward aerial, side B mix ups, it's just really annoying. We can't use PKFI to kind of check that mid range on him either because his range is too big. So we have to walk or run, and then F tilt just checks the ground. You can F tilt up to catch a short hopping. It's a very annoying matchup. What else? Side B can actually go through PK Fire and just still hit us. So that really sucks. The primary problem with this matchup is landing and getting, like, this character can always pressure you basically. It doesn't matter where he is on stage unless you're close to him. He can always pressure you. If you're trying to land, he can just cover your weave with forward aerials, back aerials, or F tilts, or side Bs. And if you start air dodging those, he can mix in up smashes, or he can mix in like turnaround up aerial and cover so much space that Lucas gets put back in the same situation again. If this character does hit you with a side B, using Magnet is actually risky. If you stay grounded, he can possibly hit you or dash attack you or down smash you or up B you. If you try to jump, he can obviously chase you with forward airs, back aerials, and up aerials. This character can actually edge guard Lucas too. This is without wing. Like, he can actually edge guard Lucas. Forward aerial does your taxes off stage as Sephiroth. It's one of the best off stage, like, skewed risk options. Heavily skewed in his favor risk options, riskless options. So this is a matchup where we definitely want to get in on Sephiroth and just pressure him to death. But he has top 30 run speed before like wing comes out. Airspeed. But he is a fast faller, so he does get double jump cancels aired into like stuff easily. Add a shield option as an air. It works, but it can be punished. Speaking of Nair, be careful falling Nair because it combos in like side B, instant reverse aerial, back air, Nair, more Nairs, side B. It's a really annoying move to get around. When Wing comes out, this matchup becomes a lot more annoying. Like, normally this matchup would be 50-50 because when we do get an on Sephiroth, he has a difficult time prying us off of him. But due to Wing makes it to where everything he does is amplified. He auto spaces everything like Zero Suit Samus. He does more damage, he does more shield damage to us, he kills us earlier. It's very annoying. It is very annoying. He gets an additional jump too. He gets a triple jump. So he can go off stage and just forward air pressure, side B. What else? This character's counter is crazy. If he manages to read a counter on us, like if we get caught using Pika Thunder 2 off stage and he counters it, we can die at like 50. Because the multiplier on his counter, his scintilla is ridiculous. Even a simple jab, if he like counters and we do a simple jab, we take like 20. So abusing him during landing can actually be a little risky because he can just outrange you, he can just side B mix you up, or he can just counter. So like PK Fire will like clank it if he aims it at us, and then like PK Freeze can obviously like hit him, but he can use his triple jump. His triple jump makes it to where like we can't reliably catch him, and his airspeed becomes a lot better. It becomes similar to Lucas's. And he gets like some of the best ground dash speed in the game, and his walk speed becomes really good. And armored smashes are annoying, but it's mostly getting around fair, F tilt, side B, and other stuff. And also, this character can actually sacrificial KO with up B, like with Octa Slash. Blade dash is kind of annoying, but we can kind of gimp Sephiroth because PK Thunder 2 exists, and we can kind of force him to take more chip damage before he recovers, or we can go out there and hit him before Octa Slash becomes active if he's far enough away. But normally we just want to PK Thunder 2 because we can't really 2-frame with Octa Slashes out because it's a 50-50. But if we preemptively commit to it, he can just commit to Octa Slash and it will just hit us to the stage. Because it's basically pre-patched Wolf Up B, but on steroids. That move has so much range. Yeah, but it's just getting past his advantage because his range is so big. And he can constantly pressure us. So if we even give him a little bit of space, he can basically kind of walk back a little bit or dash back a little bit and go for fair pressure, side B pressure, and he can mix up. And Nair is his only up close option, but it's not bad. And down tilt is too. It's not bad. Also, this character's got annoying grabs. So if we hold if we like to hold in, he can just go for up throw and start juggles. He can go for back throw and just get a back air off of the back throw if we hold in. If we hold away, he can F throw and force us to tech chase. If he does down, holding away or in really won't matter against that unless you're at higher percent, because he can get something off of it like a forward air, a back aerial, he can read your landing. It's just dealing with this character's pokes are annoying, and wing mode is not fair. But he does die early, and we can kind of get in enough to make it to where he has to guess if we're going to attack him or if we're going to grab him, because if he's at 110, he doesn't want to be anywhere near us. But wing mode will be active, so he doesn't have to be anywhere near us. It's just one of those matchups where Sephiroth's wing optimization can be really messy for Lucas. So yeah, also, you can't absorb Mega Flare. If it's the fully charged one, you can't absorb it. This character's edge trapping is really annoying too, because he just sits at middle stage and pokes us safely. So yeah, this matchup's definitely -1 for Lucas. Definitely -1. Let's do Zelda. Okay, so let me move up. I believe Zelda's a +1. Basically, it's dealing with Phantom. How you deal with Phantom is you stay in a mid-range around 3 to 4 character links away from Zelda. And that's where you can short up Zaire, double jump cancel Zaire, fair, dash in and go for stuff. And Zelda can't really Phantom around that range. Fire can destroy Phantom too. That's a range where Zelda can't Phantom safely around. She has to kind of commit to either dashing around or movement. And that's what we want against the Zelda matchup. We don't want her using Phantom because Phantom is really annoying to get around. And it's just really annoying in general. We want her using her up close buttons. And she's got some good up close buttons like jab. F smash is a multi-hit that locks you in shield. Is -16 on shield and does a lot of pushback and makes your shield cry. Up tilt stupid in combos. Nair's annoying. Down tilt's unseeable. You can lead the stuff if you don't DI. Naru's Love. Or Nairu's Love. Yeah, I think it's Naru's Love. Yeah, Naru's Love is annoying. It's a great get off mutual. Synergizes as well with Phantom. Can help her shield poke you. It's really annoying. Be careful of out of shield fair, sweet spot, and bear sweet spot. Those things can kill. And our grab range is massive. But we'd rather deal with that than deal with Phantom bullcrap. Din's Fire won't really be a problem in this matchup unless you're off stage and you're forced to PK Thunder 2. PK Fire acts as a really good annoying tool for Zelda to deal with because it can hit Phantom, slow Phantom down, and induce hit lag on the Phantom. You can just destroy the Phantom. They can hit her too, or just hit her. So it's definitely a matchup where we want to get in to that range and stop her from using Phantom. As far as 2-framing her it's not going to be possible because The teleport has wind that can push you back or hit you, or both. So we just want to go for the ledge trap against her. You definitely want to abuse her if you manage to juggle Zelda. You definitely want to abuse her because she's light and she's floating and she doesn't really have landing options. So you definitely want to just disjoint her like with forward air, Zair, peek at fire, mix it up, pivot, grab her landings, run under an up tilt, up aerial. You want to rack up as much damage as you can because you can kill her early, or you can just start going for grabs. If you manage to get caught in the corner, it can suck because Phantom will cover a lot of options, and Zelda can put herself in positions where she can use her frame to cover options too, and it can suck. If you get caught off stage, Dare from Zelda is just stupid. Sour Dare will send you so far down, and you won't tumble. So you'll just be locked into the animation falling, and Sweet Bear or Sweet Dare is just dumb. It'll kill you so early. Naru's Love can also just like go through Peak of Thunder too, because it has intangibility at the start of it, or near the start of it. Be careful of being juggled by Zelda, because up aerial is stupid. Or she can just use Phantom to cover a lot of the aerial horizontal distance if she uses a double jump. Just be smart, don't get chipped away by Phantom, know your Phantom setup, know your Phantom counterplay options, force her to fight you. Okay, let's go with Toon Link. Toon Link's 50-50. This is the most mobile Link by a good margin. And Toon Link's annoying because he likes to run around on the ground and jab 1, jab 2, up tilt, F tilt, down tilt. And he likes to do a lot of initial dashing around and abusing his good weave in the air and short hop. Or his floaty. He's floaty. And he wants to abuse his his good air acceleration to Zair you, cross up near you, bury you, and just annoy you. And this works with his boomerang because he's fast. He can confirm off of his boomerang stuff easily. His bomb is more threatening than Youngling's because it always sends at a specific. It always sends. It doesn't have set knockback, but it doesn't send you really anywhere, and it never stales. So he can always use bomb forward air or bomb rang forward air or bomb rang in the up B. You can DI the up B away and you won't die until like 140 or 150 unless he's got rage. But that forward air will do a number on you. Or he can like hit you with a bomb. Like if you're not in the percent where you're gonna die, you can like go for a neutral air or a back aerial or up aerial and start juggling you. Toon Link's juggling is underrated in this matchup. Boomerang can cover your landings. His dash attack is Greninja dash attack. It's like minus 13 on shield and has like barely any end lag. So he does offer up his hurt box, but you gotta be on point to punish it, or you can just dash back afterwards and get away with it. Zair can punish your landings, run under you, up tilt or up smash can catch you. His up smash is really strong. His smash attack is really strong for no reason. His arrow is the slowest of Links, so he'll shoot it and then he can like follow up behind it because he's so mobile. He's small. His out of shield option is frame 6, so it does warrant some worry if you're being greedy up close. But normally, you can just pressure him with your forward aerial. You can pressure him with your typical Lucas stuff, and it won't really mean that much for him. Unless he gets a parry. Then it's scary. His edge trapping, or his ledge trapping, is surprisingly really good. He can like toss a bomb up. He can go for dare 2-frame attempts and kill. He can just F-tilt you if you're hanging on the ledge, and they'll cover your jump. He can possibly cover roll too. He can just dash attack you on roll. He can down tilt you. Down tilt you lead. Down tilt leads in like situations around like 30, 40. It's very annoying. His grab is obviously long, but it has more lag than yours. So trying to aggress into Toon Link is annoying. That's the problem with this matchup, is trying to get into Toon Link, because we can't play mid-range. Well, we can kind of play mid-range, but if he has a bomb in his hand and like Rang is out, or he's just dashing around with bomb, it's kind of like Pac-Man, where he can just become an annoying defensive character. Because he can just dash around and wait for you to make a mistake, then toss bomb. Or because you want to shield afterwards, he can like run in, Z-drop the bomb, and then like go for a pressure while the bomb is still falling. We can gimp him, but it's not going to be as easy as like Young Link because his airspeed's good and he's floaty. And his double jump is pretty big. He doesn't have as much range on his up B though, so that's definitely a plus. I'm not sure how I feel about his offstage gimping potential against Lucas, because he can like go off stage and like up B, or like up B like to cover low recovery attempts, and it lingers for a while. But I think offstage fair is good enough to warrant some kind of worry, because he can like go offstage with like a bomb and Z drop it, and then like toss it at you, and then go for forward air off stage and kill you at like 80. So his ledge pressure is really good against Lucas. He can catch your landings easily because little forward air, Zair, bomb, rang, arrow, or you can just position himself where he can always threaten your landing with like a grab or something. So Nora's really safe against Toon Link, and he can kind of rack up a lot of damage against you in mid range too if you're not careful, because you don't know if he's gonna commit to like using a bomb, using boomerang, or if he's gonna dash in and do something. So it's definitely annoying. But on the flip side, we have a lot of good stuff against Toon Link too, because he's so floaty. It gives us a chance to reposition ourselves for like fire, freeze, disjoint stuff to catch his landings. But if he has a bomb in his hand, he can like toss it down air, and then like kind of DI where he wants. He can kind of get out of disadvantage a little bit. But we would definitely want to get him off stage. That's where we want him. We want to get him off stage. Typical Lucas pressure still works against him too. Off stage, like Peek at Thunder still kind of wrecks the recovery. Dare wrecks the recovery kind of. But he does have a tether, and his tether is pretty big. So we're going to be ledge trapping more often than not unless we send him really far away. Matchup's 50-50. It's definitely easier than Young Link, but it's not free by any means because he's just so mobile. Let's go with Terry. Terry's a 50-50. Crack shot's stupid. Shield pokes us. He's minus 12. It can cross us up. We can't punish that tool. Dash attack is strong and can kill us. Jab is so good up close. This character is so good up close. He can be equally as annoying and degenerate as we are when we get up close. Down tilt's like minus 6. His jab 1 is minus 6, and it's frame 3 startup. And if he continues with the whole string, he gets 15 damage off of that jab. Or he goes for like jab, power dunk to catch us SDIing in. Or you can go for jab, like a beat, and that's a kill confirm at higher percents. He can also go for like short hop power dunk, input power dunk, and be like 0 on a shield, so you don't want to be anywhere near him when he's doing that. He's got good anti-airs because low crack shoot. Up tilt has upper body invulnerability or intangibility. He can spot dodge up tilt too, which is kind of stupid. So he can definitely combo us really well too, because his nair is like a sex kick where it just lingers, and he can combo into like burning knuckle, and he can do like down tilt burning knuckle. His combos do like 30% per interaction, so it's kind of stupid. He can juggle Lucas really well because his up air is big. His like back air is pretty good. Does a lot of damage. Crack shoot can catch us too. He's really annoying. He does good damage every time he touches you from frame 3 options, and it's just not okay. Doesn't really get much of a grabs, but it doesn't really matter. The primary issue is when go happens. When go happens, you can't you take 50 from interactions now. He can combo into Power Gazer like from up tilt, and Power Gazer kill you at like 100 or 80. Jab, Buster Wolf does like 40. It's so easy and kills. His off stage is a little weird because he can like short up power dunk off stage and try to spike you. He can just down air spike you, nair into like side B's. Ledge trapping is not bad either because nair is lingering and it leads into side B. On the flip side, we can combo him. His out of shield against us isn't good. Punishing his landing is definitely more of a challenge because crack shot allows him to reposition quickly and it doesn't have a lot of lag. You can fast fall air dodge, you can power dunk. So it definitely does require you to react to what his landing is going to be and then punish. We can't just commit to something. Dealing with his recovery is definitely exploitable because he doesn't snap the ledge if he uses crack shoot or burning knuckle. Or power dunk. Or up B even though he has leg intangibility. So we can peek at thunder pressure and peek at fire pressure and go off stage and hit him. It's a 50-50. If we can kill him before go becomes active, which we can feasibly do, it's definitely doable for us. If he manages to abuse go and keep it, it can quickly go downhill for us. So it's 50-50 overall because both characters kind of play annoying mid-range and have good buttons up close. But go helps Terry a lot. And his options for dealing with Lucas punishing landings is really good. So we can definitely live longer than we intend him to in neutral. And he's heavy. And he's fast for a character who's not heavy on the ground. So yeah. That's really good for him. Luigi. Actually, yeah, let me do Luigi next. Okay, Luigi. I think this matchup's 50-50. Or either slight Lucas favor. I'm gonna say 50-50 to play it safe. The strengths Lucas has in this matchup are we can carry him off stage and gimp him. We can force him to use his double jump early in the side B, but we can PK Thunder to intercept him. Unless he's getting really lucky with misfires, we can feasibly kill Luigi off stage or stage tech him and force him to die. Because his recovery is kind of like Ridley, where it's either horizontal or he's recovering low. His airspeed is so slow, we can actually go out there and pressure him, intercept him, get in his way of misfires or his side B to gimp him that way too. And this is really effective against Luigi. But in neutral, this character actually isn't bad against Lucas. His tether grab is the best tether grab in the game in terms of frame data. And his grab is one of the best combo starting, kill confirming grabs ever. It's one of the best 0, 60, 50, 70, or 80 grabs in the game. Or 0 def grabs. Because his mid-range has that grab as an option, it outranges Zaire. If we do double jump cancel Zaire and he grabs at the same time, it'll hit us. It can catch us. It can ensnare us. And if this character gets a grab on us, we take a lot of freaking damage. So this is a matchup where we can't just play traditional unreactable Lucas things in mid-range freely. Because his grab can hard punish us for doing that. So we have to really make sure we're on our game in mid-range. PK Fire is really nice in this matchup too because his speed is mediocre. His run speed is mediocre. He can crush under it though, but the fact that this character can play mid-range with grab is so good. And he gets a lot of damage off of a single grab. And he gets kill confirms with grab. And he has a kill throw with back throw. Comboing this character during disadvantage because he's floaty and has a down B. And down B in the air has a win box. And he's intangible. I think on frame 2 or frame 1. I think it's frame 1. But correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's not that free if you're going to be greedy. Now, if you're going for PK Fire and PK Freeze stuff to screw his landing up, or if you're just weaving to bait it out, it's a great option. But because this character gets so much damage from getting a grab, and his frame data is insane, where he can run up, get an up tilt, go for down tilt pressure, go for falling aerial pressure, or fair pressure, it's really annoying because this character can corner you, and if you're cornered against him, he can down tilt pressure you at the ledge, falling there, and get all this damage off of it and reset. Also, short hop Zaire to where if he uses his Zaire, it forces us to do stuff or to get off the ledge. His fireball is not bad either because it kind of acts as a little pseudo wall that he can put in front of him. Even though we can absorb it, it often forces us to back off. Because Lowell, his grab is so good. It's hard to get off the ledge against this character too. And also he has a broken typical Mario up smash where he can run up, turn around, up smash, and we just have to hold it because our out of shield is slow. This character's out of shield is also kind of scary because if he gets a KO punch on us and he gets the sweet spot, we can die early. This character's explosive factor and the fact that his grab is a really good mid-range checking option and a really good comeback factor and a really good explosive factor, and it does everything for him. The fact that his grab is that good is able for him. It means so much because he can play neutral in a really simplistically stupid way that is so effective. It doesn't matter if it's simplistically stupid, and it does so much for him. And it kill confirms for him too. Even when we're out of combo percent, it still does a lot for him. So because of that, I believe this matchup is 50-50. Even though we have a lot of great stuff in advantage against him too. But the fact that his neutral can just be grab and run up and press buttons, and it works, and it does a lot of damage on Lucas, yeah, it's 50-50 in my opinion. This is definitely an explosive matchup where sometimes you just get bodied, or you lose a lead, and then you gotta run into him and he's just grabbing you, or he's just doing Luigi stuff and you can just die. But it's also the same thing for him where if we can run away, because we can run away from Luigi, we can really make him pay for it. So it's definitely 50-50 in my opinion. I'm going to go with, let's go with an obscure one, Robin. I think this matchup is very slight Lucas favor, just very slight. It could be even too, if I'm being honest. While Robin does have to wait a little bit of time for Levin-Sword to spawn at the start of a match, which can give us an opportunity to get in, this character can often kind of check us at mid-range with Thunder. With like L Thunder or Thunder. But I personally prefer Thunder, because like Thunder from Robin, like his neutral B, Robin's neutral B is like 4 different special moves in one, and it's cracked. It is really cracked. It's one of the best neutral Bs in the game in my opinion. Thunder checks Lucas, and it, like even if Lucas absorbs it, it doesn't really give much. So like Robin can kind of use this to pester Lucas. It's kind of like Hero Zap, but it doesn't send you anywhere. So we can combo off of it, or you can like go for an up throw and start going for up airs and stuff like that, and juggling Lucas. L Thunder is really good for Lucas in mid range because it does like 17%, and even though Pika Fire can clank it and Zare can clank it, it's still a lot of damage to be taking. When Levin Sword comes out, you can't reliably like get hit by this character. You don't want to get hit by this character because then you won't be able to reliably be able to like deal with Levin Swords, because Levin Sword trades with everything Lucas does really well. Back air stupid with Levin Sword, juggle up air is dumb with Levin Sword. Nair, Levin Sword, Nair from Robin is stupid and no one talks about it. It sends at a bad angle, covers both sides, is safe. Stupid aerial. What else? This character's neutral B charges relatively quickly, so the character's objective can change in neutral. We can react to Arc Fire, honestly, and absorb it or just Zare it and get rid of it, which is really nice. Unless we're at the ledge and we're kind of forced to just deal with it, which then it's scary. This character has some sick wave bound stuff with neutral B in the air, so this character definitely has a great baiting game. Kind of like us. But it has like a durability limit. Our goal is to get Robin off stage, or to put this character in positions where he has to use L Wind. So like we get this character off stage and we can pressure him off stage enough with like Nairs, Pika Thunders, Pika Freezes, Bears, and we can keep forcing this character to use L Wind. The tome durability will run out, and then it'll take 6 seconds for it to regenerate, and then the character will just die off stage. So you want to get this character in the corner where we can stop the character's projectile trapping from taking place, and we can make it to where we can force the character to use like more thunders, so we can actually get in. Like once the character's Thunder Tome is out, the character can't reliably keep us out. Once the Thunder Tome runs out, we can actually like play the game normally. Other than that, we can kind of peek at fire to pressure the character, but again, since it has an audio cue, the character can kind of like wait for it or jump over it because the character's jumps are high. It's just the matchup where like you don't want to deal with Levin Swords. You got to deal with Thunder, and Thunder is annoying to deal with. You don't have to worry about Arc Fire that much. Nosferatu is obviously for conditioning up close. The items can be annoying, but it's nothing too bad. But Levin Sword advantage stays scary. And with Thunder Tome on the back seat helping, it can get out of hand really quickly because Levin Sword can kill early, and Robin can go off stage and go for like aerials and kill because the character's floaty. So yeah, it's not bad for Robin. It's very doable. Okay, let's go with Yoshi. This character is like a Jigglypuff on steroids, and except this character has a really good ground game too. So first of all, we can't ever shield poke Yoshi because their shield is immune to shield stabbing. So it's an egg. That's really stupid. This character's out of shield option is Nair. It's very good. Back air is very good. Up smash is also like nice for like dealing with cross ups. Has foot intangibility and kills early too. Yoshi's kind of similar to Mario, except the character trades fair 50-50s for the ability to drift and go harder off stage. And with some like annoying projectile stuff of eggs, we can't absorb eggs, but we can Zare it. But this character trades having fair 50-50s for having a recovery that's more annoying to deal with, and for having aerial drift and weave that is really annoying for us to hit with our disjoints. So we have to honestly rely on fire to snipe this character's landings more. And dealing with this character during edge guarding can be annoying because the character can double jump armor through your stuff or your aerial attempts. And this character can also do it to your combos. So you just basically take your little bit of damage against Yoshi, and then you just leave it. And you go back to neutral. Dealing with this character in neutral is annoying because this character definitely has better mobility than us. And this character's like neutral air dodge, weave, left or right is stupid. This character can crawl and be really evasive and annoying to hit. And if Yoshi hits you with like an up tilt or an F tilt, you're taking like 50 from juggle up aerials and for this character snatching your landing. And you don't want to like being near this character is difficult to do too because this character has insane close quarters combat tools. Dare will like pretty much always shield poke Lucas. It's not even fair. Drifting Nair, drifting like neutral B, the egg lay, landing up aerial. This character does have range issues, but this character's mobility is so good. It will get in. Yoshi will get in, or he will get in. And this character can actually go off stage and gimp Lucas too, because this character's again, this airspeed is so high and drift is so good he can bait moves out. This character's ledge chopping isn't bad either because he can kind of set play us or force us to choose options with proper egg placements. We can't shield poke this character like with PK Fire either. PK Freeze won't shield poke either, so like yeah. It's one of those matchups where because Yoshi's mobility is so good, if this character gets a lead, we can kind of like we're kind of forced to like aggress into him quickly. But he's heavy and he's small and he double jump armors out, so his survivability against Lucas is very good. Egglay also sucks. If we're like at 50 and we get caught in Egglay, if we mash out, we can still be red. If we delay, we can still be red. It just sucks. This is a matchup where like Yoshi's mobility is so good and he can kind of do a little bit of everything against Lucas. Well, he can like run away. He can't like projectile camp us, but he can run away and be evasive and annoying to hit. He's got equally cracked frame data, so he can press buttons up close. Excuse me, I burped. He can edge guard us, he can ledge trap us, he can juggle us. We can't really juggle him with our buttons, but we can kind of annoy him and juggle him with our Peak Thunder. Or we can run under him and kind of like force that landing mix up. But we can't like full hop get him. We have to like short hop get him, run under him, and position ourselves before we can do anything. So, yeah. He doesn't get double jump cancels it across the stage either because he's floaty. He's a floaty heavyweight. So, yeah. We can't cheese him with our combos unless we're at like really low percent. We're likely not going to gimp him. So we have to kill each other. Like, he's likely not going to gimp us. And we're likely not going to gimp him. So we both have to kill each other honestly. Having that kill throw does help a lot though. Lucario. Believe it or not, I used to think this matchup was like +1. You know, after Lucario buffs and after more thought about it, I put this matchup in like... Actually, I put it here actually. So yeah, shout out to Helix. While Lucario is a character who does require to take some damage, at least take 40% or like 50%. For his aura to get normalized because of the aura buff and like the 1v1 multiplier. This character's mobility, its initial dash and airspeed are like tied with Wolf. So this character can play the weave game with initial dashes and like sick wave bounce movement with side B and neutral B. And neutral B is scary around 50 because it becomes adequately sized to where like it can mix up like short hop back airs with like short hop neutral Bs, and it forces us into situations where we have to do something. Like if it neutral Bs are a shield, we have to roll or jump or do something. And then it can cancel it. It has like two frame or 3 frame window or a 4 frame window to cancel it, but it can do that and it can play neutral again while we're stuck in shield looking stupid. Lucario starts off as like a footsies character or a mobility like baiter who wants to run in with feign aggression, and then he takes more damage, and then he just keeps going for combos or it keeps going for combo opportunities to rack up damage to get us around like 50, and then it gets at 50 and it becomes a base character. Then around like 70 or 80, it becomes a character where like it starts cheesing you. It becomes like a half grappler because side B does so much damage if it hits you. Aura Sphere becomes too big to reliably avoid. It can bait out our magnets easily because lol, it can shield cancel and jump cancel and wave bounce after the jump and do whatever, be reverse and be annoying and moving around with the hitbox that leads the combos and kill confirms, and it's stupid. Uh, so because this character is so mobile and Aura Sphere is a tool we reliably can't just toss Magnet out against in neutral because it becomes too big. Or the character can like shield cancel, not shield cancel, but like, yeah, shield cancel, you just press the shield button and then initial dash and do something. It's scary. And when this character starts getting damaged, side B, not side B, but side B does get bigger, but up B starts traveling the speed of like Inklings up B, except this character can go in any direction it desires. And we won't actually be able to gimp it at those percents. Now, at lower percents, we can try to go off stage and get better pressure it, but when it gets at higher percent, it starts traveling so fast, we can't reliably do that. So all the PK Thunders and stuff we do against that actually work against us, unless we go for a move that outright kills, because we're just racking up damage against it, and we're giving it more aura, which means it can possibly kill us earlier for doing so. So it's one of those characters where you want to keep on the ledge as often as you can. Go for F-tilt pressure, generic corner pressure, and try to kill it before aura becomes a thing. Because if it does, this character can just start snowballing and playing really evasive and baiting out magnets, and Aura Sphere just becomes so annoying to deal with even though we can recover a lot from it. The character's mobility permits us to basically not completely just hold magnet or even just do basic magnet stuff. We kind of have to like use PK Fire to clink the Aura Sphere because it starts doing so much damage and Zero can't clink it. So it just becomes a really scary matchup the longer it goes on. And we don't really have the edge guarding prowess to cheese it. So we have to kill it honestly during neutral, and this character's neutral becomes better and better and better as Aura just builds. Around like 90, so it's scary. Abusing its landing is hard too, because B reverse stuff, it can counter PK fires. It's just annoying. This character's annoying. Okay, we got two more. Bileth and Sora. Let's start with Bileth. Alright. Shout out to Rex Rex. This character's range and kill power from that range is something crazy. It's kind of similar to the Sephiroth matchup. Not as much range, but that range is traded for other tools that make it annoying, but not as bad as Sephiroth. So, like, okay. So Bileth sits in down tilt range and fair range and pokes you with those two tools. We can double jump cancel Zair, like punish down tilt if we're perfect. We can't do anything about fair or bear on shield. We just have to eat it, and then afterwards we have to just. Okay. Camera kind of cut off preemptively, so as I was saying, if Bileth uses forward air or down tilt, we just kind of have to eat it and walk forward. What else does Bileth do? Also, his juggling is crazy, so like this character can just up throw us and just proceed to just up air us over and over, or catch our landings with like back air and forward aerial. And we actually don't have a lot of margin of error when it comes to landing against Bileth, despite the fact that the character is sluggish or slow, both in the air and on the ground. This character's hitboxes are strong. What else? Oh yeah, getting off ledge against this character is a nightmare. They cover so much range. Fair Bear covers so much range. Down tilt covers a lot of range. So we're kind of forced to play more respectfully, a lot more respectfully once we're on the ledge. And F tilt's fast. Up tilt's fast too. Also, this character has good burst options in side B, covering a lot of range on the ground. A lot more range than you'd think. Probably is his most encompassing normal, but it is not safe. It's not safe against Lucas. Dash attack's also really good because it lunges him forward and it's frame 6. Nair is annoying. You can parry the third hit if Bileth is like short hop Nair. You can parry the third hit, but if Bileth falls with it, just don't even try. Just roll away or jump away, or take your turn back with Nair because it's like minus. I think it's -6. So maybe you can Nair out of shield it. We don't really care about Bileth out of shield option in up B. We can just outspace it. We can stay in a position where like he's forced to use F tilt or down tilt, and if we're in a range where we can fair punish them, that would be quite good. Because as I recall, his F tilt's -15, so we can definitely fair out of shield it, which is what really important in this matchup. Our primary goal against Bileth is to get him cornered or get her cornered, pressure them to the ledge, and attempt to gimp them with PK Thunder, PK Fire, or just keep them on ledge as much as possible if we can't gimp their tether recovery. Because while Bileth has the longest tether recovery, again, the character's slow, so the character can't really escape pressure. They have to use their hitboxes to do so once they're cornered. The character has good offstage pressure against us with neutral B, the bow. Like, they can, like, double jump, use the bow to, like, cover high recoveries, and kind of forces the air dodge or magnet. They can go off stage, too, and go for, like, nairs or fish for 2 frames of down tilt on stage or dare. We also got to be careful how much we shield in this matchup, because dare and down smash are just shield breaking tools. They do a lot of shield damage. If Bileth slightly touches you, like hits you with a jab or an F tilt, and then you shield and down smash or down air comes, your shield will break. We do have good combos on Bileth because the character doesn't really have a quick get. Well, Nair is a quick get off me option, and it's a multi hit too, but like it doesn't trade well. So it's one of those matchups where, because Bileth is slow, we can kind of PK fire the character in during landing. PK freeze is really nice to catch the character during landing too, because the character really can't weave away from them. Overall, this match is about evenish in my opinion, or very even. They can both mess each other up during advantage. They can both screw each other off stage. Yeah, up B off stage is stupid. And up B can be used like snatch Lucas out of the air and anti-air it. Like, Lucas can't do anything about that. So yeah, it's definitely 50-50. We both gimp each other. We can both ledge trap each other. Neutrals, evenish. Just trying to push each other to the corner, see what comes up. Lucas is trying to get it in combo. So, yeah. Okay, the last one, Sora. I put this matchup in 50-50. Sora has good burst options, dash attack. This character's ability to control space in the air with neutral air and forward aerial, because they're basically aerial strings where he can use Nair 1 and then like weave backwards or forwards and then use Nair 2 from a short hop or not commit to it, is very good. Because it means you have to constantly guess. Sora's out of shield game. You have to constantly guess if he's going to end the string, or like if he's going to use Nair 1 or 2 during short hop. You got to guess if he's going to full hop, neutral air 1, 2, or 3. And again, he can do these moves on whiff. He doesn't need a hurt box. He doesn't need a shield to do it or a hurt box. He can just do it. So that's really good. Nair out of shield is also a really nice out of shield option. But our shield pressure is so safe, it doesn't really matter. But it's more along the lines used for like a way to stuff out our aerial approaches. He can crouch. He can crawl. His crawl is really low and it's really good. So we gotta be more aware of that. He kind of spaces around in neutral with like F tilt, down tilt, back air, turn around, up aerial, jab. And he controls a lot of space when he does this, despite his keyblade being not as long as other swords. It still has good enough range on it. This character's dash grab is one of the longer ones in the game. It's not really all that laggy for a dash grab, and it can constitute as a burst option. This character gets evenish. This character is even for Lucas, because this character is not bad in any state of the game. His recovery is amazing. He's one of the few characters that can go off stage and just use spells like Thunder to force Lucas to magnet. He can go off stage, forward aerial, neutral aerial, back aerial. He can counter Lucas's recovery. Peek at Thunder 2 attempts with counter. His counter is really consistent too, because like it'll stun you when you hit him during it, and it's active on frame 7 to 26, and it only has I think 25 or it has below 30 frames of end lag on whiff. So that's absurd for a counter that's as strong as Sora's and as consistent as it is. This character has good ledge trapping. F tilt hits us at the ledge. It can 2-frame us. Down tilt can 2-frame us. Down tilt low profile, so like he can just kind of do it against us and space it and be really annoying to punish. Up smash out of shield is slower, but it's strong. Again, we don't really care about it. This also has up the added shield. We don't really care about it because our added shield options are so good. If Sora does hit us with Nair or Fair, and he manages the fast fall Nair or Fair 1 or 2, we're in a really bad spot. This character's up aerial is also really strong despite its combo potential. It has as much knockback as Corrin's up aerial, which is stupid. Yeah, it's frame 13, but like Sora's up aerial is stupid. So this character can juggle us, this character can burst us. Dash Attack's also a really good burst option because he can cross up our shields. He can burst us down, he can space against us. He's small. He can recover really well against us. He can ledge trap us. He can combo us. He can kill us. He has 2 kill throws, 2 up throw, freaking back throw. Down throw is a combo throw too. He can mix that up if you want to DI out. He can go for F throw and force tech chase situations. Spells are really nice against us. Like, we don't really care about Faraga or Thundaga on stage that much. He wants to use that against us when we're like trying to land. Blizzaga is definitely a gamble because if we can absorb Blizzaga, we heal like 60%. It's actually not fair. But if we get hit by Blizzaga, we can't do anything about it. It shield pokes us easily, and it's just cheap, and he gets free stuff off of it. It's kind of like a more condensed version of PK Freeze. A multi-hitting PK Freeze in mid-range. It's probably his best shield breaking tool as well. Because we get knocked away so far, the character can kind of, like at mid-percent, you can kind of spell cycle and fish for like Blizzaga or the spell you're more annoyed against. I do think the most dangerous spell Sora has is Blizzaga against Lucas because it's in a range where we can't reliably like do anything. Like if we try to space peek a fire around that range, like Blizzaga will eat that and probably hit us. We can't really space around Blizzaga. So yeah, as far as Lucas' streams in the matchup are, he's floaty. So he gets up air stringed a lot. We have decent combos against him. He dies early. We can annoy his recovery with Peek at Thunder. Because his aerial weave is good, like Ness's, his air acceleration is stupid. It's top 1/4 of the cast easily, but his top airspeed is slow. We can chase him. We can run away from him a little bit more than we can other sword characters. So it's one of those matchups where like he has the weaving mix-ups to make his aerials really ambiguous if he's going to space more aggressively into us or if he's going to space away from us. And he does have a long short hop in terms of like air duration and a long full hop. So he can definitely play those weaving mix-ups a lot. And he does get rewarded for playing them correctly. What else? Oh yeah, other than the fact that he dies early, we can go off stage against him like he can against us. We can go for back air attempts. His double jump is big, like Mewtwo's. So if we can force him to use that double jump, we can kind of annoy him with Peek at Thunder. We really can't. We won't likely destroy him off stage because he can always use that double jump. His air dodge is one of the longest in the game too, probably one of the best. And it's because he can use his side B after his up B, he can use Sonic Blade after up B. It's very annoying to actually like outright kill him off stage. So we just rack up damage against him, and that damage ends up mattering because he's a slight character, and up there will kill him early. What else? Oh yeah, his down smash is very evasive, and it provides him intangibility on his lower body, and it sends it a bad angle. But other than that, this matchup is, very fundamentals based. Very fundamentals based. It tests your reactions in neutral, how you deal against a lot of other characters during advantage, neutral, and disadvantage. He's a great partner though. Blizzaga heals a lot in doubles. Spells heal a lot. Yeah, so that's about it for my Lucas matchup chart. Let me scroll downwards, okay. Yeah, that's about it. We covered every character. If anybody liked this little series string of videos I did, comment, like, favorite, subscribe. You all take care now.